Hello guys, welcome to Defense IAS Academy. Today we are going to see about the major Indian river systems. So the rivers of India. So the rivers actually plays a very significant role in the lives of Indian society. Mainly it provides irrigation, drinking water, economical transportation, power, as well as grand livelihoods for a large number of populations. Now most of our major cities are positioned towards the banks of the river, so it mainly tells us that the rivers play an important role in the Indian society, and a large number of population lives or are positioned to the banks of the river. So what are the major list of river systems that we have, and where is their origin, like where do they start and where do they end? Okay, so we are going to see in detail about that. Now most of the rivers of India, like they discharge towards the Bay of Bengal, and there are some of the rivers which flow to the western part of the country and flows to the or merges to the Arabian Sea. The northern parts of the Aravalli range, that some parts of Ladakh and the arid regions of the Thar desert have inland drainage. Okay, so three types of discharge or drainage. Some drain to Bay of Bengal, some drain to Arabian Sea, some of the areas have their own inland drainage. All the major rivers of India originate from one of the three main watersheds, which are mainly the Himalaya and the Karakoram range. Second is the Chota Nagpur Plateau and the Vindhya and the Satpura range. And third is the Western Ghats. So these are the three major watersheds of India, from where most of the rivers originate. So you can see in picture we have the major rivers of India shown, which are the Indus, the Brahmaputra, the Ganga. Then you have Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Cauvery, and the west flowing rivers Narmada and Tapti. So here you can see the drainage systems towards the Bay of Bengal as well as towards the Arabian Sea. Okay, so let's see in the Indian river systems. So we have almost like 9 river systems in India, which are the Indus river system, which is of length 3180 kilometer. That's the total length, not the length in India, it's the total length. Then the Brahmaputra river system, which is having a total length of 2900 kilometer. Then the Ganga river system, having a total length of 2510 kilometer. Then the Yamuna river system with 1376 kilometer, and the Narmada river system, which has a total length of 1312 kilometer. The Tapti river system with 724 kilometer, Godavari river system with 1465 kilometer, Krishna river system with 1400 kilometer, Cauvery river system with 805 kilometer, and Mahanadi river system with 851 kilometer of total length. Here you can see that the Indus and the Brahmaputra have different length, like the total length is different from length in India, as it flows through other countries too. Okay, so all the other rivers have the same total length and the length in India, as they are completely flowing inside the inside our country, inside India. So we'll see in them in detail. So what are the classifications of the drainage system in India? So the first classification is based on the size of the catchment area. Now what's a catchment area? Catchment area is a land. It's an area of land where the water collects when it rains, and it's often bounded by hills. So this water, it flows over the landscape, like it finds its way to the streams, and it flows down into the soil, eventually feeding the river. Some of this water stays underground and continues to slowly feed the river in times of low rainfall. Every inch of this land, every inch of the land on this earth forms a part of the catchment. So that is a catchment area. Now, depending upon this catchment area, that is where the water gets collected. Depending upon this catchment area, you have three classifications of your drainage system. One is major area, the major river, where you have a catchment area greater than 20,000 square kilometer, and a medium river where the range of catchment area is in between 20,000 to 2,000, and all catchment area below 2,000, like 2,000 and below comes 2,000 and below square kilometer comes in the minor river division. Okay, so that are the three major catchment area classifications: major river, medium river, and minor river. Next, the drainage system based on the origin. So, the total river system in India can be classified into two: the Himalayan rivers and the peninsular rivers. In other words, the perennial rivers and the non-perennial rivers. So, the Himalayan rivers are mainly the rivers that get their water from snow and rain, and they have a larger drainage basin, and also they form a V-shaped valley. The main perennial rivers are Indus, the Ganga, the Brahmaputra, and all of their tributaries. And this peninsular rivers, or the non-perennial rivers, they get their water from rain only, and their drainage basin is small compared to the Himalayan rivers, and also they have an valley of U shape. Okay, and the major rivers that come on non-perennial river systems are the Mahanadi, the Godavari, Krishna, the Cauvery, the Narmada, the Tapti, and other, and their tributaries. Okay, so all these rivers are fed from rain alone. So next classification comes based upon their drainage. Okay, so the depending on the drainage, they can be classified into four groups. One is the Himalayan rivers, two Deccan rivers, three coastal rivers. All these drain into the sea, and rivers of inland drainage basin. Okay, so that means this as example, the streams like the Sambhar in the western Rajasthan are its seasonal character, and it drain into an inland basin and salt lakes. And another example, in the Rann of Kutch, in the Rann of Kutch, the river that flows to the salt desert is the Luni. So all these rivers have inland drainage basin. Okay, so depending upon the drainage, there are four classifications: the Himalayan rivers, Deccan rivers, coastal rivers drain into the sea, and inland drainage basin rivers. Okay, next is depending upon the orientation to the sea, which is either east flowing or west flowing. Okay, so depending upon the orientation to their orientation of their flow to the sea. So the classification is the Bay of Bengal drainage, that is the rivers that drain into the Bay of Bengal, mostly called as east flowing rivers, and the Arabian Sea drainage, that is the river that drain into the Arabian Sea, which are called as west flowing rivers. The rivers Narmada, which is also known as the holiest river of India, and Tapti, or called as Tapi also, it flow parallel to each other, but they are the two main west flowing rivers of India, and they drain themselves into the Arabian Sea. The two rivers make the valley rich in alluvial soil, and thick forest cover much of the land. Next, we can see the difference between the rivers that are draining into the Bay of Bengal and the ones that are draining into the Arabian Sea. So, what are the major uh, difference? So, the Bay of Bengal drainage means the rivers that drain into the Bay of Bengal, and the Arabian Sea drainage means the rivers that drain into the Arabian Sea. The second difference is that the Bay of Bengal drainage means it is east flowing rivers, and Arabian Sea drainage means they are west flowing rivers. And 77% of the drainage area of our country is oriented towards Bay of Bengal, means 77% of our drainage area comes in the east flowing category, and 23% of our drainage system or drainage area comes towards the Arabian Sea. Their orientation is towards the Arabian Sea. Now, the rivers like Ganga, the Brahmaputra, the Mahanadi, Godavari, Cauvery, the Krishna, the Penru, and the Peninsular, and the Vaigai, etc., are the rivers that drain into the Bay of Bengal. And the west flowing rivers, the Indus, the Narmada, the Tapti, the Sabarmati, the Mahi, and the large number of swift flowing western coastal rivers that are descending from Sahyadris are the rivers that drain into the Arabian Sea. Now, the area that is covered by the Bay of Bengal drainage and the Arabian Sea drainage are not proportional, because Bay of Bengal drainage area is more, it's like big or large when compared to the Arabian Sea drainage area. And 90% of the water drains into the Bay of Bengal, and the rest is drained into the Arabian Sea, or either it forms an inland drainage. Either drain into Arabian Sea or it forms an inland drainage. Next, we can just see the difference between the Himalayan and Peninsular rivers. I roughly mentioned them in the previous slides, the Himalayan and the Peninsular rivers. So, let us see in detail what are this, what is this two classification, Himalayan and Peninsular river system. Okay, the all the rivers in our in India are classified into two, which are Himalayan rivers and Peninsular rivers. The Himalayan rivers, they get their they get their water mainly from snow, and these rivers are perennial. That means they have water throughout the year. And the Himalayan rivers, they obtain their water from rain, snow, that is the melted snow from the high mountains. Then the Himalayan rivers have a larger river basin, and the rivers are mainly running in their youth stage. And the two major Himalayan rivers are the Indus river system and the Brahmaputra, which originate from the north of the mountain ranges. And the main source is from the glaciers of the Himalayan mountain range. The main source of water in the Himalayan rivers is from the glaciers of the Himalayan mountain range. And the Himalayan rivers have long duration courses from their source to the sea, means they travel a long way before they drain into the sea. Now, the peninsular rivers. These rivers are seasonal, means their flow or their water is mainly dependent on rainfall. So, if there is rain, then mean they have water. If there is no rainfall, they dry off. So, the peninsular rivers are mostly seasonal. They have a smaller basin which when compared to the Himalayan rivers, and these rivers are considered as old rivers. The most rivers, sorry, uh, these rivers are considered as old rivers, and the most rivers of peninsular region originate in the western Ghats and flow towards the Bay of Bengal, while Godavari and Narmada are the major main river system of peninsular rivers. The main source of this river is the Peninsula Plateau and the Central Highland. The rivers have shorter and shallower courses as compared to the Himalayan rivers. Means the distance they cover will be very less when compared to the Himalayan rivers. Next, the classifications, like which river come under what system. The Himalayan river system has Indus river system, Brahmaputra river system, and the Ganga river system. Then the east flowing peninsular river systems. The east flowing peninsular river systems, they have the Godavari river system, the Krishna river system, the Cauvery river system, and the Mahanadi river system. And third category, the west flowing peninsular river system. They have the Narmada, Tapti, Sabarmati, Mahi, and Luni rivers. So these are the major rivers that flow in India. It's the same. This slide also shows the same, just like under one classification, the 9 rivers under one classification. Next is we are going to discuss the each river system in detail. So the Indus river system, it arises from the northern slopes of the Kailash range in the Tibet near Lake Manasarovar. It has a large number of tributaries both in India and Pakistan, and has a total length of about 2,897 kilometers from the source point near Karachi. Uh, from the source to the point near Karachi, where it falls into the Arabian Sea, out of which approximately 700 kilometers lies in India. It enters the Indian territory in Jammu and Kashmir by forming a picturesque gorge. In the Kashmir region, it joins with many tributaries, the Saskar, the Shyok, the Nubra, and the Hansa. It flows between the Ladakh region and the Saskar range at Leh. It crosses the Himalayas through a 5,181 meter deep gorge near Athok, which is lying north of the Nanga Parbat. The major tributaries of the Indus river in India are Jhelum, Ravi, Chenab, Beas, and Satluj. So this is just a small tabular form which says the source of the Indus river system. It's it's Gar Sangpo, which is a Tibetan plateau in China, and it enters India at Jammu and Kashmir. The length is that's the total length. It's not the length in India. It's total length of the Indus river system. It is 3,180 kilometers. The destination is, that means where it drain into, it is the Arabian Sea near Sindh in Pakistan. Then the tributaries are Beas, Satluj, Ravi, Chenab, Jhelum, and the states covered are Jammu and Kashmir and Punjab. In India, it is Jammu and Kashmir and Punjab, and the other country that is covered is Pakistan. Okay. Now this shows the Indus river system. Here you can see the Indus. It's originating from the Himalayan range. It's originating from the China, the Tibetan range. It flows through the Jammu and Kashmir. Then it enters Pakistan. Okay, it enters Pakistan, and then finally it drains to the Arabian Sea. And there are tributaries to the Indus, which are Jhelum, the Chenab, the Ravi, the Satluj, and the these. See that these are the tributaries to the Indus River system. So, a quick explanation about tributary. What is a tributary? A tributary is a river that flows into a larger stream or main stream of a river or lake. Okay, so when we say that Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Satluj, Bees, all these are tributaries of Indus, they are flowing into the Indus river system. So, they are small river systems that are, or a stream of rivers that are flowing into the larger system, the Indus river system. Now the opposite of tributary is distributary, which means that it is a river or a stream that is branching off or flows away from the main stream. The distributaries are often found in river deltas. Okay, so that is distributary and distributary. Now so I hope you are clear with the Indus river tributaries. So let's move on. Next is the Brahmaputra river system. The Brahmaputra river system, it originates from the Manasarovar lake, which is also the source of the Indus and the Satluj. The Brahmaputra lake, the Brahmaputra river system has a total length of 3,848 kilometers, and it's a little longer than the Indus river. Most of its course lies outside India. It flows parallel to the Himalayas in the eastward direction. When it reaches the Namcha Barwa, it takes a U-turn around it and enters India in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. Here it is known as the Dihang river. In India, it flows through the state of Arunachal Pradesh and Assam and is connected by several tributaries. The Brahmaputra has a braided channel throughout most of its length in Assam. The river is also known as Sangpo in Tibet. It receives less volume of water and has less silt in the Tibet region. But in India, the river passes through a region of heavy precipitation, and as such, the river carries large amounts of water during rainfall and a significant amount of silt. It is considered one of the largest rivers in India in terms of volume. It is known for creating the calamity in Assam and Bangladesh. So, things to remember, it is the largest river in India in terms of volume, and it has a total kilometer of 3,848 kilometers. It is longer than Indus river, and it originates from the Manasarovar lake. Okay. So, uh, just a few highlights of the Brahmaputra river system. It sources the Himalaya, the Tibetan plateau of China, China, and the length is 2,900 kilometer. The destination is Bay of Bengal, means it drains over into Bay of Bengal. Then the length told here, it is the length of the Brahmaputra river system in India. Okay, it is the length of the Brahmaputra system in India. The major tributaries of Brahmaputra river system is Dhansiri, Lohit, Dihang river, then Subansiri, Kameng, Manas, Sankosh, Teesta river, and the states covered are Assam and Arunachal Pradesh. So this figure shows the Brahmaputra river system. You can see here this is the this, like, the area that I am highlighting. This area is the Brahmaputra river system. It originates from the Manasarovar lake. Okay, It originates from the Manasarovar Lake, like where even the Indus and the Satluj get their waters too. Then it flows parallel to the Himalayas in the eastward direction. Okay, so it flows towards the eastward direction. It flows parallel to the Himalayas in the eastward direction, and most of its flow lies outside the India, and at near to the Arunachal Pradesh, it takes an U-turn. Okay, it takes a U-turn and it enters the India. This particular point is called as this particular point is called as the hang. Okay, it's called as the hang, the point where it flows into India through the state of Arunachal Pradesh. It is known as the Dihang River, the Dibang River or the Dihang River. It In India, it follows through flows through the Assam and Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, the river is known as Tsangpo in Tibet, like this part of region where it flows outside India, in the Tibetan region. It is known as Tsangpo. Once it enters India, it is called as Brahmaputra. So it has a longer flow than the Indus, and it is one of the biggest river, or the largest river in terms of its volume. And ultimately you can see that it drains off into the Bay of Bengal. Okay, it drains off into the Bay of Bengal. So next is the Ganga river system. The Ganga river system originates as the Bhagirathi from the Gangotri glacier. It originates from the glacier, so it is a peninsular river system. Before it reaches the Devprayag in the Garhwal division, the Mandakini, the Pindar, the Dauli Ganga, and the Bishen Ganga rivers merge into the Alagananda, and the Bailing drain into the Bhagirathi. The Pindar river rises from East Trishul, and Nanda Devi unite with the Alagananda at Karan Prayag. The Mandakini meets at Rudra Prayag. The water from both Bhagirathi and the Alagananda flows in the name of the Ganga at Dev Prayag. Okay. The concept of Panch Prayag is you have five concepts over here. Vishnu Prayag, that means where the river Alagananda meets river Dauli Ganga, is called Vishnu Prayag. Then you have Nand Prayag, where the river Alagananda meets the river Nandagini. Then Karna Prayag, where the river Alagananda meets the river Pindar. Then the Rudra Prayag, where the river Alagananda meets river Mandagini, and Dev Prayag, where river Alagananda meets the Bhagirathi, that is Ganga. Okay, so these are the Panch Prayag related to the Ganga river system. Next, the principal tributaries of Ganga are Yamuna, Damodar, Sapta Kosi, Ram Ganga, Gomati, Gaghra, and Sun. The rivers, after traveling a distance of 2525 kilometers, it meets with the Bay of Bengal. So, to see as a brief brief summary, we can say that the source of Ganga river system is Gangotri glacier. Its length is 1525 kilometer. Then the destination is Bay of Bengal. Then the main tributaries are Chambal, Betwa, Sun, Damodar, Gomati, Gakra, Gandak, Kosi, and Yamuna. And in India, the states covered are Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, and West Bengal. So, 5 states are covered by the Ganga river system. So now this shows it shows the Ganga river system in detail with its tributaries and distributaries. So this is the source of the Ganges. Source of the Ganges. That means it originates from the Bhagirathi. That is the Gangotri glacier over here. Then it flows towards the east direction, like covering uh, 5 states in India. Mm, so the major tributaries of this Ganga river system are Yamuna, like you can see over here, you have Yamuna, then the Damodar, Gomati, you have Gomati over here, then Damodar, then the Sun, the Saptakoshi, then like the Sun, then the Ganghara, the Gantak, all these are like the tributaries to the Ganga or the Ganges. Tributaries means the stream of water that are flowing into the main river. Okay, so these are the major tributaries of Ganga river system, and finally it fall off to the Bay of Bengal. Okay, fall off to the Bay of Bengal. Its drainage is Bay of Bengal after traveling a distance of mostly 2525 kilometer. Next is the Yamuna river system. The Yamuna river system is the largest tributary of the Ganga river. Okay, it is a tributary of the Ganga river. It originates from the Yamunotri glacier at the Bandar Poonch peak in the Uttarakhand. The main tributaries joining the river include the Sindh, the Hindoon, the Betwa, Ken, and Chambal. The Tons is the largest tributary of Yamuna. The catchment of the river extends to the state of Delhi, Himachal Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Rajasthan, and Madhya Pradesh. Like to briefen, you can say that the source of the Yamuna river system, which is a tributary of the Ganga river system, is Yamunotri glacier and the Champasar glacier. The total length is 1376 kilometer. It's entirely inside India. The destination is it merges with Ganga, called as Triveni Sangam. Then the tributaries are Tan, Chambal, Hindan, Betwa, Ken, Hindon, and Sharda. The states covered in India are Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, and Delhi. So this shows the Yamuna uh, river system. Okay, this is the Yamuna river system. It is a tributary of the Ganga river system. So The major tributaries of the Yamuna are Chambal, the Banas, the Betwa, then uh, all these are the major tributaries of the Yamuna, and the Tans is the largest tributary of Yamuna, and you can see that it covers the states of Delhi, Delhi, then Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Rajasthan, and Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so here it meets Ganga or the Ganges. Um, and the starting point or the source is called as Yamunotri Glacier. It's like in Uttarakhand. Okay, so that's the Yamuna river system. Next is the Godavari river system. The Godavari river is the second longest course in India with brownish water. The river is often referred to as Dakshin, that is South Ganga, or Vriddha Ganga, that is Old Ganga. It is a seasonal river and it is dried during summers and widens during the monsoons. The river originates from Trimbakeshwar near to Nasik in Maharashtra. Uh, it flows southeast across the south central India through the states of Madhya Pradesh, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and Orissa, and drains into the Bay of Bengal. So it covers four states: Madhya Pradesh, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and Orissa, and drains into Bay of Bengal. The river forms a fertile delta at Rajamundry. Uh, okay. Uh, the banks of the river have many pilgrim sites the Nasik in Maharashtra, the Bhadrachalam, then the Trimbak, extra. Some of its tributaries include Pranahita, that is a combination of Penu Ganga and Vardha, then the Indravati river, then the Bindusara, the Sabari, and Manjira. All these are um, tributaries of the Godavari river system. The Asia's largest rail cum road bridge, which links Kovur and Rajamundry, is located on the river Godavari. So that's also an thing to remember about the Godavari river system. The Asia's largest rail cum road bridge is a part of the Godavari river system. So next, just a brief like we can say walkthrough about Godavari river system. The source is the Brahmagiri mountain near Trimbakeshwar, Trimbakeshwar, and which is in Maharashtra. The length is 1465 kilometer. Destination is Bay of Bengal through Andhra Pradesh, and the tributaries are Purna, Pranhita, Indravati, Sabari river, Pravara, and Manjira. And the states covered are Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, and Orissa. Totally a count of 6 states. Now here you can see the Godavari river system. Okay, uh, as uh, uh, as we said, it originates from the Trimbak Hills. Okay, it originates from the Trimbak Hills, then it flows eastwards, where you have the tributaries Dundna, Purna, Penganga, Varda, all this joining into the uh, Godavari river system. Now the other tributaries are the Indravati, Indravati, then the Sabari system, then the Manjira that is coming into this, then the Pravara, then the Manyar, all this like joins to the major main river Godavari, and finally it falls off to the Bay of Bengal through Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, so that's the flow of the Godavari river system, or the South Ganga, or the Old Ganga, or the Vrit Ganga. It flows through Madhya Pradesh, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Orissa, and drains into the Bay of Bengal. Okay, and one more thing to remember is the largest rail cum road bridge, which is connecting the Kovur and Rajamundari, is part of the Godavari river system. Okay. Next is the Krishna river system. It is one of the longest rivers of India, which originates from the Mahabaleshwar in the Maharashtra. It flows through Sangli and drains into the Bay of Bengal. The river flows through the states of Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana, and Andhra Pradesh. The Tungabhadra river is the main tributary, which itself is formed by the Tunga and Bhadra rivers that originates in the Western Ghats. Then the other tributaries are Ganga rivers, then Koina, Bhima, Mallaprabha, Dinthi, Ghataprabha, Varna, Yalla, and Musi are some of the other tributaries of the Krishna river system. So the source is Mahabaleshwar, which is in Satara district of Maharashtra. The total length of the Krishna river system is 1400 kilometer, and the destination, that is, it finally falls off into Bay of Bengal at the Hamsala Devi in Andhra Pradesh. Then the tributaries are Bhima, Dinthi, Musi, Verna, Koina, Panchaganga, Dundganga, Dudganga, and Ghataprabha, and the main tributary is Tungabhadra river, which is found from Tunga and Bhadra rivers. Then the states covered are Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, and Telangana. So a pictorial representation is shown over here, where you can see the Krishna river system. So this is the Krishna river system, where you have the Tungabhadra joining it. That is one of the main tributary. The Tungabhadra, which is formed from Tunga and the Bhadra rivers. Okay, that is Tungabhadra, that is joining to the Krishna river. The Tunga and Bhadra gets their water from Western Ghats. Then the other tributaries that as part of part of the Krishna river system are the Koina, the Bhima, that is the Bhima, then the Koina, then the Dinthi, then Gata Prabha, the Varna, all this Gata Prabha, the Varna, all this, the Panchaganga, all these are parts of the Krishna river system. Okay, so finally it falls off to Bay of Bengal through Andhra Pradesh. Okay, through Andhra Pradesh. So that's with the Krishna river system. Next is the Cauvery river system. It's also known as Dakshin Ganga, that is South Ganga, and it originates from the Tala Kaveri located in the Western Ghats. Okay, Tala Kaveri, it originates from the Tala Kaveri that is located in the Western Ghats. It is a famous pilgrimage and tourist place in the Kodangu district of Karnataka. I think it's Kodagu district of Karnataka. The headwaters of the rivers are in the western Ghat ranges of the Karnataka state, and from Karnataka state it flows to Tamil Nadu. The river drains into Bay of Bengal. The river supports for irrigation, irrigation for agriculture, and is considered as a means of support of the ancient kingdoms and modern cities of South India. The river has many tributaries called as Arkavati, Shimsha, Hemavati, Kapila, Shimsha, Hunuhol, Amravati, Lakshmana, Kabini, Loka Pavani, Bhavani, Noyal, and Tirtha. To brief up, you can say that the source is Tala Kaveri, which is in Western Ghats mountain range of Karnataka. Then the total length is 765 kilometers. It's entirely in India. The destination is Bay of Bengal through the Tamil Nadu region. It falls to Bay of Bengal through Tamil Nadu region, exactly in the Pumpuhar in Tamil Nadu. Then the tributaries are Shimsha, Hemavati, Arkavati, Kabini, Amravati, Lokapa, Vani, etc. The states covered are Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Karnataka. And most of the water is present in Tamil Nadu region. Kerala has 9% of the water, and Karnataka has 4% of this river system. Often there is a dispute between Tamil Nadu and Kerala regarding this Cauvery river system. Okay. So this figure shows the Cauvery river system. You can see that it originates from the Tala Kaveri, that is located in the Western Ghats region. Then the major tributaries that come into is the Hemanti, the Hemavati. Then you have the Kabini that is coming into it. Then you have Bhavani that is coming into it. Then you have the Amravati that is coming into it. Then you have the Lokpavani, then Lokapavani, the Noyal, Noyal and the Tirtha, all those that is coming into the main river Cauvery. So these are the tributaries of Cauvery, and here the water location you can see the Tamil Nadu is having the highest water location. Second goes to Karnataka, then Kerala and Puducherry. So often there is a dispute between the water allocation among these states, and finally it falls off into the Bay of Bengal. then that's like it drains off into the Bay of Bengal through the Tamil Nadu. Next is the Mahanadi river system. It originates from the Satpura range of the central India, and it is a river in the eastern India. It flows east and it drains off into the Bay of Bengal. The river flows through the states of Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and Orissa. And the largest dam, which is the Hirakud Dam, is built on this river. So, next, the source of Mahanadi river is Shihawa mountain, which is in Chhattisgarh state of India. The total length of Mahanadi river is 858 kilometer. Then it falls off into Bay of Bengal near the Odisha state. Then the tributaries are Sionath, Hasdeo, Mand, IB, Onk, then Tail, Jong, etc. The states covered are Chhattisgarh and Odisha. This figure shows the tributaries that are coming into the Mahanadi and the flow of Mahanadi between the states Chhattisgarh and Orissa. The Mahanadi river. This is the Mahanadi river. It has tributaries Siona, then Jong, then Hasdeo, the Mant river, then the Ong river, then the Tail river, all coming into it. Okay, the this is all coming into it. The world's the largest dam is the Hirakud Dam is located in the Mahanadi river. In the largest dam, Hirakud Dam, is built over this river, and it falls off to finally it falls off to Bay of Bengal, and through the Odisha part of India. So that's with the Mahanadi river system. Next is the Narmada river system, so which is west flowing river, a west flowing peninsular river. It is Narmada river is located in central India. It rises to the summit of the Amarkantak hill in Madhya Pradesh state. It outlines the traditional frontier between North India and South India. It is one of the major rivers of the peninsular India. Only the Narmada and the Tapti and the Mahi river runs from east to west. The river flows through the states of Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, and Maharashtra. Then it drains into the Arabian Sea, because, of course it is a west flowing river, so it drains into the Arabian Sea in the Bharuch district of Gujarat. So the source of Narmada river is the Narmada Kund, which is the Amarkantak plateau in Madhya Pradesh. The total length is 1312 kilometer. The destination is that is it fall off into Gulf of Kambat of the Arabian Sea, falls off into the Gulf of Kambat of Arabian Sea. Then the tributaries are the Burner, Banjar, the Shakar, Thawa, then Hiran River, Tenthoni, Kolar River, Orsang, Uri River, etc. are the tributaries. It's like shown here, the Kolar, then the Orsang, then the Uri River, then the Banjar, the Burner, then Shakar, okay, Tawa. Then you have so many tributaries coming up, but we are listing only the major ones over here. So it flows from east to west. Okay, it flows from east to west and it drains off into the uh, Arabian Sea. Okay, it drains off into the Arabian Sea, and these are the Kolar, Barna or Sang, all those are the major tributaries that is flowing into the Narmada river system. The major states covered are Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and Gujarat. Okay, it's originated in Madhya Pradesh and it falls off in Gujarat or drains off in Gujarat to the Gulf of Khambhat. The Narmada river system is this picture again shows the west flowing rivers of India. Here you have the Luni, which is a west flowing river. Then you have Sabarmati, that's another west flowing river. Then you have Mahi. Then you have, of course, the Narmada and Tapti. Tapi. Among this, Narmada and Tapi are two main west flowing rivers. Or we talk more about Narmada and Tapi. Next is the Tapi or the Tapti river system. It is a central Indian river. It is one of the most important rivers of peninsular India with the run from east to west. It originates in the eastern Satpura range of southern Madhya Pradesh state, and it flows in the westward direction, draining some important historic places like Madhya Pradesh, Nimar region, then the East Vidarbha region, then the Maharashtra Khandesh in the northwest corner of the Deccan Plateau, and South Gujarat before draining into the Gulf of Campe of the Arabian Sea. The river basin of the Tapi river, it lies mostly in the eastern and the northern districts of the Maharashtra state. The river also covers some districts of Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat as well. The principal tributaries of the Tapi river are the Vagur river, Anar river, Girna river, the Purna river, the Pansar river and Bori river. So the source of Tapi river is Multa in the Satpura range. The total length is 724 km. Destination is Gulf of Khambhat in the Arabian Sea. Then the major tributaries are the Girna river, Gomai river, Mausam river, Pansara river, Purna river, Shiva river and Arunavati. All these are shown over here. The Bori, the Gomai river, then the Arunavati, the Anir, the Purna, then the Panchira. All these are part of, this is the original point, the Multai, which is in the Madhya Pradesh where it originates, the Satpura range where the Madhya Pradesh, and the Tapti river, it flows off with the tributaries joining to it, and it falls off into the Gulf of Khambhat in the Arabian Sea. Okay, so this is with the major tributaries and flow of east to west direction of the Tapi or the Tapti river system. It's this picture again shows the five west flowing rivers, mainly Luni, Sabarmati, Mahi, Narmada and Tapi the river system. So that's all about the Indian river systems, both the peninsular rivers and the Himalayan river systems. I hope that I have completed almost all the important areas that you should know for while preparing for an examination, and I am sure that this information will be very useful for you. And please to see the video. If you like the video, please to share it with your friends, and also like the channel and subscribe the channel Defense IAS Academy. Thank you.